everyone, and welcome to episode 23 of the Social Liability Podcast. I'm your host, the Raspberries, with my co-host, the Buck Grundle, where we bring you new and interesting stories about the people in our lives that violate the social contract we all agree to live by. This will be our second time hitting the record button because I had some freaking Sprint store in a state 1,200 miles away calling to see if I wanted to pre-order the newest iPhone. I do not appreciate. No. I've just gotten done with this nonsense about these freaking spam freaking mother. Ugh! For some reason, I got on all this calling lists that I am some Democrat from Maine named Michelle. Well, God damn it, Michelle. If I ever find out who you are, I am going to tie you to a railroad tracks. I'm going to grow me a big long mustache first so I can pull off the whole Snidely Whiplash goddamn persona. And I'm going to watch this chick get run over by a train. And I'm going to laugh hysterically the entire time. Ugh.
Dude, you can be Rasley Whiplash and I'll be Buckley.
Oh my God. All right. I know you've already told me once, but you're going to tell me again because it was funny. How's your week been?
My week was fan-frickin-tastic, man. Sunshine and rainbows and everything. But no, my childhood friend came and visited. And I mean, like, he's been my friend since we were 9 years old. And we've never lost touch. And he came and he stayed the night. And I seriously treated it like our first sleepover in 20 years. Played guitar and ate about $60 in junk food, including, like, one can of Easy Cheese. And I knew when I was doing the grocery order, I should have ordered more than one. Because not 5 minutes after the thing got delivered to my house, because I did it through Instacart, which was awesome, but it got delivered right to my door, and I don't even think I saw the full can. Like by the time I turned around and had my kitchen door shut, my buddy's already sitting there on the couch, and he's got like half the can like destroyed. I didn't see any of it. I was a little impressed if I would have to put any kind of feeling to it, because I was just like, man, the former fat kid in me wanted to come out, and I just got kiboshed. But we still ate like 3 things of Doritos, some Flaming Hot Cheetos. I mean, like we really destroyed some junk food. I had a wonderful week.
So the wife called me yesterday and said, hey, do you want me to just bring home dinner? And I'm like, yeah, I do absolutely want you to bring home dinner. And she goes, you think the kids will complain if I get sushi? I'm like, no, don't think the kids will. You might get a medal. So she brings home sushi. She hands down my I love salmon platter, and I do love me some salmon. And then she hands down a container. I'm not sure what's in it. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll set that off to the side. She sets down the miso in front of me. I'm like, okay, cool. I love me some miso. Then she hands me another container that's full of noodles. I'm like, okay. So I opened up the first container. I didn't know what it was, and it was some fried dumplings. I'm like, okay. Then the kids are eating. I'm eating. They're eating. I couldn't even finish it all, so it went in the fridge. And then I pulled up my bank app, and I looked at the recent transactions, and I noticed we just spent $80 on Japanese food. Oh my God!
How did it taste?
It didn't taste $80 good. I'll tell you that right now. Though I did have dumplings for breakfast though.
Well, can't. I don't even know what to say to that, because I wouldn't even bat an eyelash at that. I'd just be like, man, somebody brought me dinner. Yeah.
Oh, don't misinterpret. I am not angry about the situation. I knew it was going to be expensive. It always is. But I was just like, God damn. $80.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm just having trouble reading your facial expressions right now. That's all.
All right, meow. So we got some stories that we're going to go over this week. And normally we do 3, but we're going to do 4 this week just because it's some of them are short and some of them are extremely difficult to read. I have a hard time reading these out as it is. I am dyslexic, so trying to read these off in real time is really a challenge. But this one in particular, the English isn't that great on there, so I am going to stumble through this one, so I apologize in advance. But let's start with the Pulse. .coms.gh. I have no idea where that's from. But let's start with angry youth burned down pastors' buildings because 7 men can't find their penises. Let me read you that headline again, Buck. Angry youth burned down pastor's building because 7 men can't find their penises. Have you ever misplaced your penis?
No, I have not.
Well, some angry youths in the I can't pronounce this. It's Daudu. You want to take a guess? Danju? Maybe? I don't know. Community. Guma local government area of Nigeria's Benue state went berserk and burnt down all the properties of one prophet, Joseph. I can't pronounce that. Uembi? Yeah, let's go with Uembi. And his assistant, Noah Saka. That they could come across. The action came on the backdrop of the two's their alleged involvement in the disappearance of the manhood in the village, which they have reportedly confessed to. Not only they've confessed to this, I'm imagining torture was involved. The youth had earlier taken to the streets to protest over the rampant mysterious occurrences, as not less than 7 men in the community could not find their penises. A member of the community, I'm not even going to try to, something Festus, shared photos of the burnt buildings of the 2 men of gold, of the 2 men of God, with the caption, "You can use your penis and your wife's vagina and your children's everything for money, but we don't have a problem that but using others' penises and their children is, of course, of anger. But if you are a motivational speaker, please come to Dandu and talk. Don't stay far." What the hell? I thought I was having like a particularly bad night when I tried to glance this over. And no, it is just that bad of English. I think it's just translated very poorly. Nigerian news portal reported that James Nelson Akpe, the media assistant of the community, as confirming the incident. Dandu is one of the major markets in the Guma local government of the Benue state. It's no longer news, for the past week's cases of manhood snatching was on the increase. Okay, I'm done trying to read this nonsensical stuff, but how does one steal a penis?
I was going to ask you the very same question.
How does one steal a penis? Without the person's knowledge, no less.
I was going to say, without consent. Like, that's huge. Like, no wonder these people are angry.
If I woke up in the morning and my penis was gone, I'd be more confused than angry.
Oh, don't get me wrong. There'd be like, I'd be awful. Like, I'd be very kerfuffled. You know, I really would be. But after that, like, it would be the evolution of anger and somebody would pay. I'd be like, okay, man, you got it. You're gonna earn it. Like,
oh, jeez.
Nope.
So, next we're coming back to the United States. So hopefully the English is a little bit better on this for my benefit and yours as a listening audience.
Well, real quick, man, like, how grateful are you that we live in a country where shit like that we don't have that problem?
No, I've never had a pastor steal my penis before, nor have I ever heard of a pastor stealing penises. Though
not in the continental U.S. of A.
But we have had discussions on this very podcast about finding boxes of penises.
Yeah, but that was like post-mortem.
In post-explosion.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, we had this argument, but we won't go into that again. But still, just bottom line, boy, am I glad that we do not live in a place where we have to worry about that at all. Like, I've never once woke up, looked down, and went, buddy, hopefully we see it tomorrow together. Like, no. Like, I've never had to worry about that.
Hang in there, little fella. We're going to put your picture on a milk crate and we're going to find you.
Somebody ran away with Big Mark.
Well,
Yeah.
let's go to Hot Mammoth Springs, Wyoming. I don't know why it says Wyoming when it says an Idaho man. Oh, that's why. Okay. So an Idaho man let me give you the title first. Man banned from Yellowstone National Park 2 years after cooking a chicken in hot spring. Yes, you can get banned from a national park for attempting to cook chicken in the hot spring. An Idaho man was banned from Yellowstone National Park for 2 years after trying to cook a chicken in a hot spring. Rangers received reports on August 7th that a group of 10 people were hiking near Shoshone Geyser Basin, a thermal area which is off limits to hikers. When rangers reached the area, they found 2 whole chickens in a burlap sack in a hot spring and a cooking pot close by. The Idaho man and 2 others were cited for traveling in a thermal area. The man was also cited for violating closures and use limits. He pled guilty to the citation September 10th and was ordered to pay $600 for each charge and will serve 2 years unsupervised probation. He is also banned from the park during this time. This is not the first time visitors have tried to use the park's thermal features for cooking. In 2001, a Seattle television personality dug a hole near a geyser to show how the natural heat could cook a chicken. The show was fined $150 and placed on probation for 2 years for the disrupting mineral deposits in a national park and stepping off trails near a steaming geyser. Why is it always chicken? I mean, chicken scares me. I don't like cooking chicken because chicken scares me. Salmonella is a thing, brother. But
you know what though? It's cheap, and I mean, like, you know, they call tuna chicken of the sea. Well, chicken is fish of the land. I mean, like, seriously. Chicken's just, it's easy to work with. And if you mess it up and you're like completely out, you're not like, oh no, $4.98 a pound for this Black Angus, roast. You're like,
it's a chicken.
It's an $8 worth of chicken halves or chicken quarters. It's like, whatever.
I've seen more chickens walking along the road than I care to admit.
What the cluck? Hey, Raz, do you know why chicken coops only have 2 doors?
Hang on, let me get my finger on the button. All right, no, Buck, I don't know. Why do chicken coops only have 2 doors?
Because if there were more, it would be a chicken sedan.
Okay. Moving on. Okay. This one is titled...
I love
The getaway car was easy to spot, Oregon cops say. It had a sofa on top. Okay, so deputies responded to an armed robbery Tuesday morning at an Oregon hardware store. Didn't have far to go to find the getaway car. Oh, no. It was a dark-colored Mazda CX-9 with a black sofa strapped on top. A Clackamas County Sheriff's official wrote in a news release, deputies spotted the car near Ace Hardware in Happy Valley, then gave chase when the driver refused to pull over. They pursued the car, still carrying the sofa, north on Interstate 205 into Vancouver, Oregon. The driver finally stopped the car and dashed away on foot, but was quickly caught. Deputies arrested Joshua Taylor Johnson, 34 of Milwaukee. They found a pistol near the stopped Mazda CX-9 and discovered the car itself had been reported stolen. Johnson faced charges including robbery, unlawful use of a weapon, attempt to elude, reckless driving, reckless endangering. That's about that. And the vehicle and the sofa, labeled for uncertain providence by deputies, were towed from the scene. So the guy
to work today, honey. I had to tow away a sofa.
So he robbed a
Just
hardware
imagine
store.
how that
Okay,
Thanksgiving conversation went.
so this is how it goes. A lot of times people do use stolen cars to commit crimes because the car can't be traced to them. Okay, I get that. But when you pick a car as your getaway car, you want a fast car. You want one if you get into a chase, you can outrun the cops. So, yeah, a Mazda CX-9, cool, I'm down with that. But if you're going to rob a place and you're going to have your getaway car stationed outside, ready to go, don't you think, just maybe, you shouldn't have a sofa strapped to the roof?
Like, what were they gonna do? Return it to the parking spot where they found it with the sofa intact and be like, nope, no harm, no foul.
And the thing about it is there's actually is a photo of of the car, and it's not just one sofa. There's actually two. There's actually two sofas, like two-seater love seats, strapped to the roof of this car with camouflage ratchet straps. And that's the car with the accessories they chose to rob a hardware store with.
That is the last car I would pick to steal. Like, whoever owns that car and is realistically thinking that it's a good idea to drive it away with sofas strapped at the top with camouflage ratchet straps, that's not the guy you want to steal from. Like, the cheese has already started to slip off that dude's cracker to begin with, and then you're going to steal his car?
Well, man, really, who straps couches to the top of a Mazda CX-9 to begin with? That's
right. Like, why would you want to steal from that guy? Like, that dude is obviously.
Or did he steal the car and strap the sofas up there himself?
You know what? Maybe, he might have passed him on the road and been like, nope, free.
But hey, see that hardware store over there? Easy pickings.
I bet you that's where he got the camo ratchet straps.
Yeah, he had to rob the place to get the ratchet straps to make sure the sofa didn't fall off on the way home.
It's like, hey, wait. We can get this. We can get these sofas up here. I just got to go get something from the hardware store. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back. Hang on. Go, 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 go!
All right, man. You know how we always wanted to be in a pit crew? Get these sofas up there and let's get the fuck out. Yeah, no.
So, I have a friend who is he's actually a professional wrestler, and he has a gimmick, persona, as a hitman. Okay, bear with me. This gets good. So his persona is that of a hitman. So he always has a small metal case, like briefcase, with him that has bottles of marked chloroform in them. It's not chloroform, but that's what the bottles are marked. And also in the bag is a body bag. So at the end of his match, when he wins, he'll put the person in the body bag like the Undertaker used to do, that kind of thing. Gimmick infringement.
Right.
Okay, but being an independent wrestler does not pay the bills, folks. It doesn't. So what does this guy do? He's an Uber driver. Can you guess where I'm going with this? He gets a call for a Uber pickup. He goes and picks up the individual, and he drives him to the bank. Next thing you know, his car is being surrounded by police because the gentleman he just dropped off at the bank and is waiting for to come back out just robbed said bank. And now he's got cops looking through his car. He's sitting on the curb in handcuffs as they go through his trunk and they find a briefcase of chloroform and a body bag.
Oh, no. I was wondering when the dots were going to connect. I was going to be like, okay, all right. And yes,
luckily,
full circle moment.
Luckily, he was able to show that, yes, I'm an Uber driver. This is an Uber thing. And here's some pictures of me doing my professional wrestling thing. So, you getaway cars.
It's not chloroform. It's not chloroform, officer. It's cherry limeade.
It's Kool-Aid. It's Kool-Aid. But, yeah, so getaway cars. Folks, if you're going to rob someplace, at least put some forethought into it. Get yourself an everyday car that you're going to see everywhere. And don't have shit strapped to the roof of it. And don't call it Uber. Just a thought. And I know law enforcement ain't supposed to, make it easy for the criminals, but come on. Let's step up your game a little bit. Let's make it a little bit more interesting.
Like, you should invest in a paid getaway driver who is aware that there's actually a heist. It will increase your chances of escape exponentially.
Exponentially. Oh,
Yes.
jeez. All right. Well, next, this is a story that you didn't know we were going to cover because I literally found it when I was reading another story. So we're off to the great state of Florida, folks, and you know what that means.
Florida man, does whatever the fuck he can. Makes headlines every time. Florida's paradigm. Look out! Here comes Florida man.
Yes, here comes Florida man in a story titled Florida Firefighter Accused of Stealing Pokemon Cards. In Haines City, Florida, you gotta catch 'em all, a Florida firefighter was caught stealing about $165 worth of Pokemon cards from Walmart. According to the Haines City Police Department, Joel Strickland, 30, on Thursday was observed by staff at Walmart switching barcodes for lower price cards to the higher priced Pokemon cards. Strickland then attempted to pay the lower prices at the self-checkout register, as reported by a television station. The value of the cards was $165, investigators said. Members of Walmart's loss prevention staff stopped Strickland, a Polk County firefighter, as he attempted to leave the store. According to police, Strickland told detectives he planned to flip the cards to make extra money because he was struggling financially. Strickland was arrested and charged with petty theft, according to Polk County's online booking records. In a news release, Haines City Police Chief Jim Elensky said help is a phone call away. If you're struggling, there are a myriad of resources available. As public safety employees, we are expected to conduct ourselves in a manner worthy of the respect of our community show us. Strickland has resigned from the fire department prior to termination. Okay. So, you may not know this if you listen to this podcast, but I am a Pokemon professor. As a matter of fact, I have a second podcast that is strictly dedicated to the world of professionally played Pokemon, or competitive Pokemon, if you will. And if you want to hear me get on a soapbox about this kind of crap, you can listen to that podcast. It's called the Mount Moon Review. If you're listening to this podcast, you're probably not into it. But let me just say that the guy is not off base. There are new sets coming out where there's certain cards in the boxes that you have a high probability to get if you're buying them by the box. They're selling for astronomical amounts of money. But you can't find the damn things because people like Joel Strickland are cleaning the shelves of them so that children can't buy the damn cards. And they're trying to flip them on eBay or on Facebook groups that shall remain nameless. But of all the things to try to get rich quick, if you're going to steal something, why something that's worth a gamble? You know, you're going to steal the box, but it might be jack shit in the box. Dude, go steal something that you know what the value is so you can sell it.
Jewelry.
Well, it's kind of hard to steal jewelry from a Walmart, you know? But still.
It doesn't matter. I mean, like, you know, you can still broaden your horizons. I mean, like, you can steal watches from Walmart. You know? There's all sorts of crap from Walmart that you could steal and flip for more money than Pokemon cards.
And let me tell you this. Stealing from a Walmart is insanely simple. In most places, Walmarts have a non-pursuit policy. So if you literally just grab the shit and walk out the door, excuse me, sir, stop. Fuck you. Keep walking. Really? But this guy decided to go through the trouble of getting out a knife, cutting off barcodes, swapping them around, and trying to walk out the door with $165 worth of Pokemon cards. Ugh.
I mean, like, what an elaborate scheme, too.
Yeah.
Not a good one. It's not. I'm not saying that it's good. Not well played, sir. Just
elaborate.
A whole lot of, like just elaborate. Like all that work. Like, what kind of ROI were you expecting on all that fucking effort? Like, like, come on. Come on, man. But there's really not very much that I could really say other than come on, or like get real. Because dude's obviously not, like, he's got champagne dreams with a beer plan. Like, no.
That was good. I'm gonna give you the rim shot on that one.
But
There you go.
thank you.
Okay, on to our main event. And I have not read this yet, but I have gone through and I have downloaded something new for our soundboard. So I will be using it because it makes me giggle. But armed robber ran from Cork City fast food restaurant when staff member produced bigger knife. Oh, this screams this has to be on the show. It really does.
It really does.
A 27-year-old man produced a knife in a ham-fisted attempted robbery at the Fat Belly fast food takeaway from the premises when one member of staff waved a bigger knife from behind the counter. A colleague of the man behind the counter produced some kind of stick during the same incident. Detective Guardia Liam Lynch charged Anthony Buckley of 27 Townsend Place, Greenmount, Cork. Holy shit, they don't even tell usually it's just the guy's name and age. No, they give you his full freaking address here in Cork County. With attempted robbery at the premises at 20 George Quays, Cork on November 27th, and the two charges related to the alleged production of a knife at the scene. Buckley signed a plea deal guilty to each charge at the Cork District Court. That's hard to say. Now at Cork Circuit Court, Detective well, I'm starting that over again. Now at Cork Circuit Criminal Court, Detective Garda Lynch gave evidence of the ill-fated crime. Okay, here's your evidence right here. This is your evidence.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
He said Buckley, who had a long-time drug problem, walked into the fast food outlet and produced a knife. However, he left with nothing when two men working there picked up the knife and the stick that were behind the counter and waved them in the air. There was no physical contact between any of the parties involved during the incident, but Detective Lynch said, I know him a long time. It literally says that in quotes. I know him a long time. He has always been or always had a drug problem. Emmett Boyle, defense barrister, said the accused man was attending Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous and rehabilitation organizations to deal with his addictions. Judge, I'm not even going to pronounce this because it's got like accent marks and shit I've never seen before, said he could not hold it against him that COVID-19 restrictions had prevented him getting into a residential treatment, but it had to be dealt with by the way of a prison sentence. It is not accessible to be going into a shop with a knife. No shit, Judge. It may have been a ham-fisted enough, but these attempts can get out of hand. Oh, my God. The judge says he jailed the accused for 2 years. Well, if he's jailing him, he's not an accused anymore. Get your writings correct. But, yeah. That's not a knife.
So, well, I mean, like, what prophetic words from a judge? You cannot go into a place with a knife.
Well, thank God for that. Well, your judge, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I didn't know.
Thank you, Aristotle. Any more pearls of wisdom from your bench there, Your Honor? No. Okay.
I didn't know I couldn't pull a knife on him and demand an extra cheeseburger. What the hell?
It wasn't written. There was no signs.
Oh,
there was no
right.
sign.
There was no sign.
I didn't go in there smoking. I wouldn't say it said thank you for not smoking. Nobody said thank you.
You know, I was just kind of perusing YouTube earlier, and I was coming across stories of people being wrongfully arrested and stuff like that. And I came across two that were this complete false outrage. The first one was this woman was driving and her baby in the back started crying. So she literally just pulled over, double parked, and she got in the back of the car and started breastfeeding while she's snarling up traffic. And they gave her a $108 fine, I want to say. And she's saying she's being persecuted for breastfeeding when nothing to do with it at all. The fact that your car was in traffic and you were being an ignorant sow. That is what you got the fine for.
Impeding the flow of traffic, not feeding your child.
But now I see there's all these free the nipple organizations that are backing this woman and saying that it's persecution of women. No, it's persecution of jackasses who will feel entitled to park wherever they feel like it.
Yeah. Like, that's just not a... See, that makes a person a social liability.
Indeed it does.
Like,
but the one that really kind of resonates in accordance with this story was another one where a woman went to her son's sports event at a school, drove past empty parking spots in the parking lot, drove over the curb, which is marked red as a fire line, mind you, drove over the curb up onto an embankment so she could park her car under a shade tree. And she's upset because she's got a $800 fine to pay. And she doesn't believe she should have to pay that fine because there's no signs that say she can't.
oh,
Okay. So there's no sign that says don't steal penises. Does that mean I can go steal penises?
we may have a problem, Raz.
Do I need to just walk around my house putting signs up everywhere now?
I was gonna say, if there's no sign, and that means that there's a whole new field of play here. Like, whoa.
I mean, if that's the legal standard, I'm just gonna, we're recording this on November 6th. So if there's no sign anywhere, I think I should be able to walk into the White House and declare myself president. I mean, obviously the states can't get it figured out, so why not? There's no sign that says I can't.
Well, I'm just gonna run around with a T-shirt that says "Don't arrest me" and do whatever the fuck I want. And when cops get all butthurt about it, I'm gonna be like, no. Nope, it's clearly printed right here. No, sir. Like, do not engage.
It's clearly printed on my shirt. Clearly.
This cannot be any more transparent. Do not arrest me. If you cannot understand that, you obviously don't need to be doing that job.
Obviously.
One side, sir. One side, sir. I said good day.
Good day, sir. I said good day. Oh, jeez. I mean, the whole concept is, well, no one told me I couldn't, is just utterly ridiculous. And that is the social contract. That is the violation. Because if you cannot live in a society where you can't think to yourself, how is this going to affect others? Or is it obvious I'm not supposed to do something? Then fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean...
You deal with that every day, though. Somebody just thinks they're entitled to do something because it's convenient for them. Or they're not going to do something because it's inconvenient for them. Well, guess what, folks? Life consists of two things. Inconvenience and little red dots. Because you're going to be inconvenienced by something in your life. And guess what? Every freaking time you turn around, you're going to have a zit or a blemish or an STD or something. And everyone has little red dots. Suck it up. And taxes. I guess taxes is number 3.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely taxes.
So, inconvenience, little red dots, and taxes.
And death.
Maybe.
I don't know, man. I think we can add a 4th one on that list. Death is definitely a certainty.
Maybe for you. I intend to live forever.
Oh, that's right. Evil doesn't die.
That's right. Evil doesn't die, folks. Evil doesn't die. And I am a son of a bitch, apparently. I take it for what it's worth. But that being said, I think that's going to... You want to keep going? You keep right on going, Buck. You go right ahead. Go.
I was going to say, I do distinctly recall selling you a life insurance policy. If you weren't actually worried about dying, yeah.
You sold me a life insurance policy only because I was trying to help you out. And I made it as uncomfortable as possible, if I remember correctly.
Do you still have said life insurance policy?
I do. I actually noticed it came out of my account the other day.
Okay. Yep. I believe that your argument has now just, Titanic'd itself into oblivion.
Not really. And did I not make it as uncomfortable as possible for all parties involved?
Actually, I was quite comfortable. I loved it because I got to see you. I got to see you in your element, and my manager was just not in his.
Well, I mean, how often does he see somebody with a box of guns, literally playing with them the entire time you're trying to sell them a life insurance policy?
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, Raz, put that down, sign right here. Like, you said you wanted this to be quick. You got to put that down and sign right here.
No, I said I didn't want the prick in my house, but you brought him anyway.
I know. I'm still kind of sorry for that.
Okay. Maybe we'll have an episode about the box of guns. But that being said, folks, that'll bring us to an end for another episode of the Social Liability Podcast. I've been your host, the Raspberries, with my co-host, the Buck Grundle. And we do ask that if you enjoyed this podcast, that you tell a freaking friend about it, because I'm going nuts looking at the statistics and seeing how this is not getting shared. It's a good podcast. You know it's a good podcast. Why? Because we are now 36 minutes into this, and you have listened to every word. So you can't tell me, oh, I didn't. No, you listened to the whole damn thing. So that means we kept your attention that long. So that means you're going to tell a damn friend about it, and you're going to say, hey, listen to these guys. They know what they're talking about. Because the only thing we ask, not to pay for it, but
pay attention.
Just pay attention.
Just pay attention.
That's it.
Pay attention.
That's it. Look into my eyes. I mean, you really can't. But if you could, you would see the intensity. The fire that burns within it.
There is definitely quite a bit of intensity there.
And right now, a crazed eye, just a crazed look about it. Tell a friend. That's all we really ask. And make sure you give us a 5-star review on whatever platform it is that you're listening on. And other than that, that's all we ask. So have yourself a delightful week. Don't catch the Rona. And hopefully by the next podcast, we have a president of the United States.
Fingers crossed.
Have a week.